Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host El Young, and we are here with the brilliant band Wyld Ryde. Welcome, guys.
Hey, what's going
up?
on, man?
Hey,
How
how
you
you doing?
doing over there?
Hey.
Yeah, I'm good. How's yourselves?
Oh, we're doing great, man. We're doing
Mhm.
awesome over
Doing
here.
awesome. Yep,
Cool,
yep,
Loving
cool,
life, man.
cool,
yeah.
cool. Could you introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure.
You want to go from
Yeah,
this side? Go
I'm
ahead.
known as Tommy Blitz, and I had played lead and rhythm guitar, and I do background vocals. I help Chief out, like when he needs the help in the background. So that's kind of what I do. And take it over, Chief.
All right. I'm Chief. I'm the lead singer, and I also play guitar, do some soloing here and there. Yeah, so that's what I do.
I'm Kid.
Cool.
I'm the drummer. Beat on things and get paid for it.
There you go. That's good stuff. Good job.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool. Yeah, so let's dive into some questions. All right. As kids, what were you listening to?
As kids, what were you listening to? You want to go?
Yeah, sure. My mom, she was always really big into Judas Priest, and she loved ACDC as well. And I remember when she very first got a Judas Priest album, Screaming for Vengeance. And it was back in the days when they had those cassette tapes and the cardboard, and it was like a big elongated piece of cardboard. And it's kind of like how cassettes used to come. And she popped that thing in, and she would listen to it over and over and over and over again. And that's kind of how I got my rock education.
Yeah,
Well, for me, it started. I was about 5 years old, and my dad bought me Kiss's "Rock and Roll Over" album. And then fast forward a few years later, I got the Motley Crue album with John Corabi on lead vocals, and I instantly became a fan of them. And from there, it just kind of blew up, and I absolutely love all things rock and heavy metal.
Cool, cool.
For me, I think yeah, my mom and dad were. My dad was real big into country and bluegrass music, being from Kentucky. My mom was more into like she was into the Beatles and the Stones and stuff like that. So she kind of got me in the rock with her until I was kind of digging that stuff. But really, I think when I really started to really love rock is whenever somebody showed me a picture of a band with all this crazy makeup on their faces and it just the visual tripped me out and once I listened to the music, of course, it was Kiss, and that's what kind of just took me off the deep end and started my journey into rock and roll music for sure.
Cool, cool. So, who really got you into music? Was it a family member or a friend or some acquaintance? Or
You want to go with that?
Well, actually, it was a very first. I had a cassette tape somebody gave to me, and they said, "I want you to have this cassette tape. This is just too heavy for me. I don't know if I really like this or not." And I was like, "Okay." It was a cassette tape of Master of Puppets, and from Metallica. And I was like, oh, "Okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll try it out and see what I think." So I pop it in the cassette player, and I was like, "This isn't so bad." And I started hearing it. The more I was listening to it, the more I was like, "How do they get that crunchy sound? How do they get that heavy sound?" And so that kind of inspired me to pick up the guitar and really want to play. And when I saw somebody else playing it and they played up in their attic and they were using all these effects pedals to mimic it, then it really inspired me. And I was like, I really want to become a guitarist now. So I was like, this is really what I want to do. And so that's kind of how I really totally got into music after that.
cool.
Yeah, for me, my dad, he was the probably my first influence as far as wanting to play because growing up he had a drum kit and he played guitar, and then my uncle, when my aunt married him, I found out he played bass, and I've actually played bass longer than I've played drums, but it was getting into bass that got me into bands and then made me realize, okay, I think I want to go back and play drums again. So I've been playing drums now for quite a while. I've been in a couple bands as a drummer, and yeah. So my dad, my uncle Mike, and my uncle Joey are the three reasons that I play music today.
Cool, cool.
Uh, yeah, for me, I'd have to say my dad. He was a musician. He, of course, he liked country and bluegrass and stuff. And So as far back as I can remember, there was a guitar around the house, and he threw one on me when I was probably about 7 or 8, and had me doing the open chords. Some people call them the cowboy chords, whatever. And yeah, he was a big influence on me as far as music goes. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be playing for sure. And also, it kind of runs in our family. I'm fourth cousin to the Everly brothers, and it's just real big, in our family. It runs in the family bloodline for sure. Also, I didn't get to mention earlier, there's a member missing here today. Our bass player Mick Watkins is not here today. He's actually gone out to another city here to check out a band that's really good friends of ours, and so he's out supporting that right now. So he's not here. But a lot of the influence we have as far as like the Kiss, the Metallica, the Motley Crue, stuff like that, I think is a lot of what he likes also. I mean, we've had some differences on certain things, but for the most part, that's kind of what is the glue that keeps us on the same pages, because a lot of the bands that we like are a lot the same. So, but I just wanted to mention Mick because he's not here right now.
Yeah, yeah. So, it's sort of like following on to from the last question. So, who inspired you to say, right, I want to pick up a guitar, or who I really wanted to pick up play the rhythm guitar, the bass, or who was it, a musician, or was it just like I said before, like a family member?
Yeah, I would say for me, it was definitely my dad got me playing for sure. Like I said, I was young and he had me playing. I didn't really want to play. I really wasn't into the country thing. I did a little bit with that with him, but he's the one that first got me playing guitar. But then it wasn't until I was introduced to Kiss that's like, and then of course you always say, a lot of people say they see the girls screaming when everybody's seen the Beatles back in the day on the Ed Sullivan Show. It's kind of what it did for me too, seeing Kiss and all these people going crazy over them, and really not having anything that I felt I was really per se good at as far as like sports or whatever else. Music was my escape and my way out, and that definitely was an influence for me. My dad and Kiss would be probably the two biggest influences on me for sure.
As for me, my mom was really big on music, and she introduced me to a lot of different bands. Queen was one of them, and I didn't know what to think of them in the very beginning, but they really did grow on me. And then I realized how complex that band was. But she introduced me to a lot of different types of music, but Judas Priest was one of the main ones. And I remember how influenced I was by that. I was like, I really love that sound, and how they can transcend through the ages and still keep what sounds them. It can keep that sound that defines them. And so, yeah, my mom was a really big influencer as far as my musical education. And
playing your guitar.
But as far as playing my guitar, my dad, he used to play guitar a lot, but I really wasn't inspired by him very much. He played a different kind of music, and but I guess I have to attribute it to a friend of mine that was really exceedingly well at guitar for only a minimal amount of time, and he only after a year he was playing Eddie Van Halen, leads, and so we started working together. His name was Jeff Willoughby, and it was like a guitar study with me. I mean, my education improved leaps and bounds from that, and I was just really grateful to work with him. And so I guess he was more of a mentor in some odd way, But unfortunately, it wasn't any of my family members that totally got me into music, though.
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, for me, I mean, as far as getting into playing music, my biggest influences would have been my dad and my Uncle Mike. But, I mean, that, it goes much more than that. I mean, if it wasn't for, seeing Kiss or Motley Crue, I probably never would have had the ambition to play like the way I do now. And I owe most of it to my dad and my Uncle Mike, but everything else I owe to Kiss and Motley Crue, my two favorite bands. I mean, if it weren't for them, I would have never found my niche in life,
Cool. So, fast forward a little bit. What bands, if any, were you in before Wyld Ryde?
You want to?
Well, for me, I've been in. Man, I've been in a lot. I started playing out like professionally, I guess you could say, when I was a bass player. I was in a band. We were called Bury the Willing, and from that, I met people. Ended up in a metal band called Heaven's Gate Gospel Revival, and it was that was a fun experience. But then we turned Heaven's Gate into a band called Kingslayer, and that was like an Iron Maiden, Judas Priest type thing. And at this point, I'm playing drums, and then Kingslayer broke up, and I had known our bass player Mick for a while, and found out that they needed a drummer, so I came in and auditioned, and now I'm in Wyld Ryde. So,
as far as me, I had a band I was in when I was younger as a kid. It was called Bum Rush, and then I played with. We played in bars when I was like, 20 years old, something like that. I was in a band called Straight Up. Did a couple other little cover things, and I got in a band with him, and it was called Hardline. And me, him, and his brother, and we played together for several years. And then the band split up, and after that, of course, I'll let Tommy can say that, or I can say it, but we kind of got back together and said, you know what, we're not doing anything. Let's just go down in the basement and start writing some stuff. And if because we were having trouble finding members. I mean, they would come and go, and we kind of like gave up on that. So we're just going to write. At least we'll do that. And we started writing, and then that's when everybody started coming in, and this thing right here called Wyld Ryde was created through that. So yeah, and that's the bands I've kind of been in. Tommy, you can talk about
for me, my first band was a band that my brother and I, we were in, called Metal Institution. That was the very first band we played in, and it really ran its course of about a year or two, and then we finally decided we wanted to do a tribute band. So we did a tribute to AC/DC, to make extra money on the side. And I was the Angus, and that was fun. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about music doing that. And but then after that, I got in the hard line for a while with him, and we enjoyed that for a couple of years until it disbanded. And then I went out and did my own thing, where I did a Megadeth Metallica tribute band called Hangar Inc., where I was the singer for Dave Mustaine and James Hetfield, and I'd play and do all this guitar stuff. And so it didn't last a long time because of switch up of members. So that's when we came to doing Wyld Ryde after that. And we just decided, no matter who we find, who we don't, we got music in the blood and we can't get it out. So the only way to, face those pent up frustrations is just to make our own music and get it out of our system.
Yeah, cool. So what has the band Wyld Ryde been up to, especially over the last couple of years?
It's actually, as far as us going, Wyld Ryde, started when it did. We've been in and out with drummers and stuff like that. Kid come in and completed the lineup for sure. He's the missing puzzle of this band. We dealt with all the stuff we made the City Streets in 2018, did that kind of turn around with that. We went in to do the Gasoline Alley, which is out now. And it was during the times of all the COVID stuff. I really don't like to talk too much about that, which you have the Gasoline Alley right now, I think.
Yeah. That's the one.
Heck yeah. So we worked on that, and it took longer than we anticipated because of everything going on with the shutdowns and stuff, and finally got it out. So we did some touring a little bit, prior to that, but of course the shutdowns, has really been tough on the entertainment industry also, with all the restrictions and the stuff you have to do now, or certain places anyway. So we're looking forward to. We went in and finished that. We've been in the studio working on our next a CD to come out, and we've got a lot of the foundation of that laid down. We have the drums and the bass laid down, so Kid and Mick are pretty much done on their instruments. We got to go back in and do guitars and then vocals and stuff like that. So that's kind of, we got that on the back burner. We got some videos we're getting ready to shoot coming up for this CD. We've already done a couple videos for this CD, Gasoline Alley and Come and Go, but we're gearing up to start touring here this year. It'll start next month, and hopefully, get that ball rolling and just let it fly, and hopefully everything will keep rolling and nothing will shut us down again. That's what we're hoping on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you have been in the studio working on the next album. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, hopefully, I mean, it's. We actually went in and did a few songs. I think this one coming up next will probably be a little heavier,
Yeah,
than the last. Not crazy, but I mean, it's definitely got some more heavier elements in it. Kind of like Six Gun, a little, more based that kind of direction. A little, but as far as releasing it, we like I said, I don't know when that would be. We don't want to wait too long. Of course, we also did a Def Leppard cover of Another Hit and Run that's went over real well with people. We went in and did that to submit it to a possible release on an album, and it was going to be on an album, but the conditions of the contract wasn't really pro Wyld Ryde, so we decided to gracefully bow out of that because it didn't make any sense to us on the legalities of it to do it. So, but we got that song done, which is cool. We've never, it was neat to go in and do a Def Leppard song to see, how we would do it, and I think we did a great job on it. It definitely pays homage to them respectfully, but it still sounds like Wyld Ryde. So I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah. I've got a question from one of my subscribers from Bastion down in South Africa. He says, "Do you release albums as vinyls?"
We haven't done that actually. The cost of that it doesn't make financial sense right now to do that because it costs so much to do that, and the wait for that is so long. I think there's like almost I've heard people talk about almost a year wait to actually get them back or whatever. But yeah, the actual the financial part of that, we'd love to do it. Yeah. Not that we wouldn't. We love albums. I mean, that's what we grew up on. For sure, me and Tommy grew up on albums and stuff. We love the whole packaging and all that stuff, and we'd love to do it. But the actual financial cost of it doesn't make any sense for doing it as far as what will we get back on it to actual. We don't want to lose money. I mean, no matter how you look at this stuff, it definitely it's music and it's awesome and we have fun playing it, but there's definitely a business part of it more than anything, and we're not really trying to go bankrupt anyway. As far as we want to definitely keep it rolling, and it's got to make financial sense for us to do it. If it doesn't make financial sense, then we can't really do it because we want to keep this band rolling. We don't want to sink it, due to lack of planning, and making bad decisions to where we can't do what we do.
I do see it in the foreseeable future, though. I think that we will eventually do that. It's just at this point in time, it doesn't work the way we want it
exactly. I mean, not that we don't want to do it for sure. Yeah, we want to, but right now it doesn't make sense. Financial sense to do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for your question, Sebastian.
So when you get this album that you're recording now, all finished and done, would you go out and tour with it?
Well, we're actually ready to start touring to work on the support for Gasoline Alley. We haven't really got to support it yet, so we're definitely looking forward to doing that. Like I said, it starts next month, and we got some, the dates are starting to pick up here and there, and it's starting to come together. So we will definitely be doing that first because we got to push this one first before we're kind of, we like to stay ahead of the game a little bit like that. So, recording on off time is great to go in and do that and try to get that done and get, stay ahead of the 8 ball, so to speak. And, but we definitely want to be out here touring for Gasoline Alley and pushing that one for sure. because we've got some great responses from people. We got, like I said, a few videos out. We got a lyric video just come out like maybe a week ago for "Hold on Me," which is really cool, and people are really like digging the stuff. And we got to get out and get it to them and let them hear it live. And that's what we plan on doing here in the next few months, and just rolling it through the year. See where it takes them. We'd love to come over there for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This tour that you are planning now and coming up, are you just doing the United States, or are you going to go up into Canada, or are you thinking about coming over to the UK?
Would love to come over there. Right now, it's just United States starting out, but you never know what you just don't know. Our manager Rick's always in the middle of doing stuff, and he lets us know what he's got lined up, and we're like, all right, cool. So he's working his ass off to get that stuff done. So you never know. I mean, I know it's United States for now, but that doesn't mean that it won't be Canada and over to you guys. You just I can't predict that. I can't. You just don't know, man.
We'd love to come over.
Love it. I would.
Right.
Yeah, we would all love to come over there and rock out for you guys.
Absolutely.
We know you guys appreciate hard rock and heavy metal over there for sure.
So, where can people find Wyld Ryde? I know you've got a Facebook page. Have you got any other social media sites that you're on?
Yeah, we have our Twitter that we're getting ready to start kicking that up. The official, I think it's the Real Wyld Ryde or some Twitter. You have to look. So I can't remember. We have Instagram, official Wyld Ryde on Instagram. We have our Wyld Ryde YouTube page. We have Bandcamp where you can go buy our merchandise. We got CDs. We got T-shirts, hoodies, booty shorts, beanies. I mean, hats, beanies. Beanies. Hat right here. Tommy's wearing one of the hats. I mean, we got all things Wyld Ryde on there.
Our CDs also.
And right. Signed autograph posters and bumper stickers and patches and all that stuff. You go to Bandcamp, you can get that, or come out to a show and we'll have them right there on the tables for you at the merch booth. So I'm trying to think of anything else. We got Reverb Nation. We're on that. Just TikTok. We got a TikTok. So we have a TikTok. So there you go. Look out. We're in now, man. We got a TikTok.
Yeah. So this is probably going to be my last question, but unless somebody in the chat has got any more questions to ask the band, let us know now. So my last question is, any advice for people who want to become a musician?
Buckle up.
It's definitely a lot of hard work, and it's a lot. I mean, if you being a musician, trying to be a touring musician, playing and professional, and trying to do it for a living, it's like it's not easy. That's for sure. Now we got a song called "It's Not Easy," but it's if it was easy, everybody would do it, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a lot of hard work. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that, Rick does. It's unreal. I mean, a lot of hours on the computer doing stuff and talking on the phones and emails and stuff like that. So you definitely going to have to put in a lot of time to do that for sure. But I mean, it's what you want. If you want to do it, then you got to be there to rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? Right. Some people, I think somebody said Dave Mustaine said one time, "Don't do it" or something.
That wouldn't be my advice. My advice is to do whatever you feel like doing. Don't hold back, and don't let people tell you can't do it. No matter where you come from or where you're brought up or it doesn't matter. None of that matters. Only your determination matters and the direction that you're moving in. Because if you're moving forward in the right direction, then that's all that matters. And that's make the plan and execute it, and just keep going with it, no matter what, and don't give up. There's no reason to give up because, it's like a roller coaster. You're going to face some ups and downs, but as long as you stay on the ride, you're going to be okay. It's even if it's a wild ride.
There you go.
So I think that might be about it. So thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for sending this over. It's very
Oh,
much
man, thank you
appreciated.
so much for having us. Thank you
Our
for
pleasure.
spreading the word. We love you, all you guys, man.
Mhm.
We can't wait to get over there eventually and rock out for you guys
Yeah.
on a festival.
Yeah.
Mhm. Exactly.
Oh, good, yeah. I would love to go and see you guys over here in the UK. It will be to coin the phrase and the band name. It will be a wild ride.
Hell yeah, no doubt.
Exactly.
That's
Sounds
it,
good.
buddy.
Sounds good.
So thank you so much for coming on. It's
Thanks
been
for
an
having us.
absolute
Thanks for having
pleasure.
us. Yeah.
Thank you. Peace.
Yeah. Definitely. We really appreciate it.
Go check them. Yeah, go check them out on their social media sites and band camps and everything. And if you, brilliant band. So go check them out.
Later.
Later.
Later, guys.
Bye.